Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Eleni, the Anatomy and Physiology tutor in the NIP program, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a workshop on the muscle anatomy. So we're really just going to be talking about the different types of muscle and how they differ from each other in this video. If you want more information on the physiology though, of muscle contraction and all that good stuff, go to the NIP Commons and see what videos we have listed. So let's talk about muscles. There are three types of muscle: cardiac, smooth, and skeletal. And just by their name, we can determine where they're located in the body. Cardiac muscle will be in the heart, smooth muscle will be in your vessels and your hollow organs, and skeletal muscle will obviously be in the muscles that are surrounding your skeleton. Now, these muscles not only differ in their location, but they differ in their appearance. So the number of striations they have, the number of mitochondria, how many nuclei they have, whether they're branched or not branched, and all of that good stuff. Let's talk about each one individually. So here we have a cardiac muscle. Now, the important thing to recognize when you're distinguishing between these different types of muscles is whether they're voluntary or involuntary. Involuntary muscles are those that require no thought, which means they're going to operate on their own via an electrical stimulus, and you don't have to think about it. So you're not thinking about when your heart should beat. Obviously, cardiac muscle is found in the heart. It is striated, which means there's an alternating A disc or A and I bands, which we'll see in another video about sarcomeres and their contractions, but cardiac muscle is striated, and the striations are seen as the alternating light pink and dark red bands. And cardiac muscle is also branched. So this branching allows it to be flexible so it can expand when the heart is pumping, but also maintain its strength. Also notice that each individual cardiac cell only has one nucleus. However, all of these little blue cells right here, these are mitochondria. Notice how many mitochondria there are in one cardiac cell. There's a lot of mitochondria, which makes sense because your cardiac muscle is always working to pump your heart and to move blood through your circulatory system. So there's a very high energy requirement. Now, smooth muscle is also involuntary, which means you don't have to think about its contraction. Smooth muscle is going to be found in your hollow organs, your vessels, your GI tract, and your reproductive organs. And the way that these muscles contract is via peristalsis, which is like a slow, constant contraction that you don't have to think about. And they are stimulated by neuronal and hormonal control, and notice that there are no striations. And we can tell that this is smooth muscle just kind of by the oblong shape of each of these cells, and it kind of looks streaky. And lastly, skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is the only voluntary muscle, which means you have to think about when you're going to move a muscle and when it's going to contract. There are striations, which can be clearly seen in this picture right here. You can see that there are dark red bands and then there's light pink bands. So you can see that those are the striations. The striations are caused by the A and I bands, which we'll learn when we talk about the sarcomeres in another video. Now, sorry, this is not supposed to say mitochondria. This is supposed to say nuclei. So just like there are a lot of mitochondria in the cardiac muscle, there's a lot more nuclei in one muscle cell. So see this whole long tube right here, that's one muscle cell, and all of these little black streaks, those are nuclei. So there's more than just one nuclei on one skeletal cell. Now let's look at the picture to the right. This is just kind of blowing up a muscle for you to show the hierarchy of structure. So here we have the whole entire muscle, and we can see that each muscle contains these fascicles, which are these little circular structures right here. These are fascicles. Inside one fascicle, you have a lot of these muscle fibers. These are your muscle fibers, your muscle cells. And within these muscle fibers, you'll have myofibrils. Sorry, these are the muscle cells, your myofibrils. And then on your myofibril, you're going to have the sarcomere, which is the unit of contraction. That is it for this video. Please go watch the other videos on the musculoskeletal system to learn more about sarcomere contraction and the physiology of muscles. Thanks for coming.